break on WXVT.
March 11th, 2016. Welcome to Delta Daybreak. I'm Kandace Red.
And I'm Riley Hill.
So Riley, as we know, hundreds of people in Greenville are cleaning up this morning after severe weather caused major flooding in homes across the Delta. We have the latest information, but first let's talk about the weather. Riley, are we out of the clear?
No, not at all. No. We actually, looking at our radar right now, we actually have round 3 heading our way, and this is just round 3 of 4. So another round heading our way by tomorrow morning, but you can see a lot of showers and thunderstorms about to work their way into the Delta. Heavy rainfall rates. Yazoo City just got put under a flash flood, or Yazoo County, excuse me, that includes Yazoo City, is under a flash flood warning now. Chico County under a flash flood warning, as well as West Carroll Parish. Now, everyone is under flash flood watch, and that is going to continue until 6 p.m. tomorrow. Now, these aerial flood warnings basically means a prolonged flood takes longer than 6 hours after the rain starts for it to start flooding. So that's set to expire at 8 a.m. for Washington, Bolivar, Sharkey, Sunflower. But I'm thinking we will likely all be put under these flash flood warnings once this rain starts to enter into the Delta and we start seeing this flood occur once again. This is very serious, and definitely pay attention to the weather today. We are likely to see more of this flash flooding events work their way across the area. Now, since we are under a flash flood watch, make sure that you have a flood action plan. Make sure you keep informed and be ready to take action, because we already have these heavy bands of showers about to work their way into the area, and that means we will likely see more flash flooding. So more on your weather coming up in just a little bit, but just be informed, stay aware of the weather out there.
Thanks, Ryan. Definitely serious information there. In Greenville, Mayor Eric Simmons has declared a state of emergency after heavy rainfall caused severe flooding, and WXVT's Riley Hill has more on that story.
Rain continues to fall in the Delta, and flooding is forcing families and businesses to evacuate. After talking with a number of families, there seems to be a recurring theme. Their neighborhood floods during every heavy rain event, and the city has not done enough to alleviate the situation.
This is happening all over the city in different areas that they're having concerns about flooding. But this problem has been ongoing and is continuing to go on.
Well, what we've seen over the recent years in this neighborhood especially, but in a lot of neighborhoods across the city, is that as these old rain gutters are caving in, the city is not replacing them. They're coming back in and they're just paving straight over them, eliminating the draining completely. And what that's caused is these smaller neighborhoods that are just like small streets and loops that are a little bit lower, they're now flooding. Even Country Club is underwater. This entire neighborhood, all by Alexander, is underwater. And I really believe that what we're seeing with our less rain drainage is definitely causing, obviously more rain buildup.
Both residents said they have complained to the city before, and nothing has been done.
Past 5 years ago, I did complain. I also complained to the county when we were in the county before we were annexed. When I first moved here, then I went to the city council.
More rain is expected Friday and Saturday, making the situation even worse. The big question remains, will Greenville be ready next time this happens? In Greenville, for WXVT or Delta News, I'm Riley Hill.
About 100 people have been evacuated in the Delta because of severe weather. Lee Smithson is the director of the Mississippi Emergency Management Agency. He says heavy rain Thursday has mostly passed the Delta, but the Gulf Coast could still receive up to 10 inches of rain. Governor Phil Bryant is mobilizing National Guard troops to help with high water rescues around the state. Now, the severe weather is also hampering the search for 2 fishermen who went missing Wednesday on the Mississippi River. Claiborne County Sheriff Frank Davis says that the search will continue today. And flooding isn't the only problem hitting Washington County, where some residents are waking up in the dark this morning. According to Entergy Mississippi, more than 30 customers are still without power thanks to the severe weather. Entergy says crews cannot restore power to structures with damaged electrical equipment. And the Mississippi Highway Patrol is still urging drivers to turn around if you encounter flooded roadways. While Highway 1 and Highway 82 intersections sections were completely flooded, and this was yesterday morning. Well, several roads in Washington County were also impassable. Tony Dunn is the spokesperson for the Mississippi Highway Patrol Troop D in Greenwood.
If you see water across the highways, please don't go through it. If you can't see the roadway, we definitely don't want you to go through it. It's safe hazard. You don't know what's happened. You don't know if the road is collapsed under the highway or anything, or under the water or anything like that, because that water is going to seep under that asphalt, and then it may do away with that dirt underneath there, and it could do away with the road itself. So if you're out driving and you do encounter some water that's across the road, even if there's a bridge there or something like that, please do not attempt to go across that. Turn around. As they say, turn around, don't drown.
Well, Dunn says troopers are working hard to keep drivers safe on the roads, and some drivers in Washington County are recovering after getting stuck in flood waters. Well, one driver lost control and ran straight into a ditch on South Raceway Road, as you can see there. And just about a mile away, another vehicle was submerged on Lowe Road. Well, emergency officials are urging all drivers to turn around, don't drown, as you heard Tony Dunn say. Well, for a list of city and county roads that are still closed, go to our website, yourdeltanews.com, or the WXVT Facebook page. And a mother and daughter are dead after being involved in a crash in Lafleur County. Well, it all happened Wednesday on U.S. Highway 82, and this is just west of Highway 7 South. Now, according to the Mississippi Highway Patrol, 50-year-old Jesse Warren was driving west in an SUV. He somehow, some way ended up on the opposite side of traffic, and that's when he crashed right into another car that was carrying 3 people. The driver of that car was 23-year-old Kimberly Doyle. She actually died at the scene. Alfonso Morris and 8-month-old Harmony Craft were passengers in that car. Well, Warren and Morris walked away with minor injuries. The child was later pronounced dead at the hospital. The Mississippi Highway Patrol is investigating that deadly crash. And in news across the South, crews in Louisiana are also cleaning up this morning after a river flooded several residential areas. So residents are coming together to help prepare for extra flood waters due to rainfall. Well, reporter Ashley Roderick has more.
On Wednesday, the tide from the Tchefuncte River started creeping into Madisonville by way of marshes and boat launches. Thursday, Covington city workers kept a watchful eye on the Bogafalaya River, doing the same in several neighborhoods lining the waterway. And in Slidell, bayou-surrounded neighbors saw high tide rise and fall on their driveways, something they say is expected when coastal winds are continuous, as they have been.
So right now, I'm just trying to get my neighbors with the cars up in the highest part they can get, so maybe they'll save a little bit.
The problem for authorities is all of these floodwaters showed up before the expected excess rains did.
You're seeing the water a little higher, and the reason being for that is we're facing a southeast wind flow, which is holding that rainwater that we've had up in those lakes and tributaries.
That raises concerns for St. Tammany Emergency Operations Director Dexter Ricardo regarding the predicted rainfall.
Now that is going to eventually fall of that moment into the rivers, and because the rivers are not going to be able to drain, it's going to have some impact probably along those river basin areas, or those areas along there.
That's just what he's watching tonight. Ricardo's attention turns upstream once the downpours end.
A couple days later, we're going to get that water coming back down the pipe. And then we go out maybe 3 to 5 days or longer. We've got the Pearl River on the east side of the parish, which is going to bring water down from Jackson, Mississippi.
So the message to residents along waterways is be ready for now and stay vigilant for later.
In news closer to town, the severe weather forced Boutique Air to cancel all flights, and this was yesterday. Still no word on whether or not the airline will resume flights today. Well, Boutique Air has provided Greenville with passenger service since October of 2015, and Red Cross is providing shelter for those affected by the heavy flooding. Well, the Washington County Convention Center right here in Greenville is being used as a shelter. The center is located at 1040 South Raceway Road. Well, another shelter is also available at the Clarksdale Civic Auditorium, and that is 506 East 2nd Street. The Red Cross staff is working with County Emergency Management and the Department of Human Services. Well, today in history on March 11th, this is back in 1989, Cops makes TV debut on Fox. Cops is a documentary-style television series that follows police officers and sheriff's deputies as they go about their jobs. Well, the first episode of Cops featured the men and women of the Broward County Sheriff's Department, and that's out in Florida. The show has aired nearly, get this, 1,000 episodes and filmed in 140 U.S. cities, as well as international locations, including London and Hong Kong. Well, bad boy, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Riley, what you gonna do? You run!
Don't run, you'll get shot.
No! I don't believe so. You know what? I really want to go on a ride-along. I can only imagine with Greenville Police Chief Delando Wilson. Let me go. I'm saying let me go. But you already know I'm going to be terrified. I'm going to be scared.
Yeah, you never
That's a
know.
hard job.
It is a very hard job, and they always have their life on the line.
Yeah. I'm just really thinking about that. I wonder how Cops all came about, really. I mean, whose great idea was that? It's like reality TV.
It's
like
definitely evolved over
TV.
the years. It didn't used to be what it is now. It was kind of just like a one sheriff runs the town, but now it's like military type force.
You think it's good? You think it's good entertainment?
Cops?
To watch? Some people like that stuff. I like the theme music. It's so cool.
It's good for sure.
All right, let's jump into this morning's Delta Chat question. So, are you upset with the city of Greenville? Because of flooding or drainage problems? Well, leave a message on our Facebook page. Your comment will be read live on air. Thanks as always for participating. And Riley, I thought about this question this morning because yesterday, especially in the morning, we received a lot of phone calls from WXVT viewers complaining about flooding and drainage issues. And it was right here in Greenville. So I wonder if there's anyone else out there having problems.
Yeah, I mean, everyone I talked to yesterday kind of getting out around some of the flooded areas, they were very upset and said pretty much any heavy rain event, this is what happens. They've complained before, but it may just be one of those things we don't have enough money to fix, or it could be that our priorities aren't right. We're not putting the money where it should be. I don't know.
Well, for me, just making it over to Greenville, I'm not having any problems. But of course, there are some people out there who are, and we want to know, especially we want to know where you're located too. So maybe we could go out there, get some news coverage on that, help you out as well. So Riley, what's going on with the weather? More rain?
More rain is heading our way. If you look at our radar right now, a lot of heavy showers and thunderstorms about to work their way back into the Delta. Some heavy rainfall rates, and we are under a flash flood watch that's going to continue until tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. And we are likely going to be put under another flash flood warning as soon as we kind of get in the heart of this heavy stuff heading our way. And so get prepared for all this rain once again, and then we have another round heading our way by tomorrow morning. Now, hopefully this stuff will clear out by this evening, kind of the same setup as yesterday, as we kind of get some dry slotting in the atmosphere. Now, Greenville actually set a new daily rainfall record yesterday, crushed the old record. We actually had 3.33 inches, being that old record of 2 inches back in 1990. And we even set a record the day before that at 5.42 inches. So we have just seen an abundance of rain across the area. Now, this is just in the last 48 hours, our rainfall totals. This is more, this is actually less than the total of what we've seen with this system over the last 3 days. So remember, 48 hours is just the last 2 days, but this rain started pretty much about 3 days ago for us. And just very impressive rainfall totals, and that's why we're seeing a lot of devastation across the area, a lot of homes flooded, and likely going to see more of the same with these next band of showers working their way into the area. So stay updated on the radar. Keep your phone on you so you can get those flash flood warnings if the National Weather Service does put one out.
All right, thanks, Riley. Definitely want to stay updated on that, and we will be right back after the break.